You're so cringe. God forbid I have hobbies. What the I've never seen this player build for. Oh no, you got them Gooner books. I peeped that from a fucking mile away. Yo, look at this. What is that, Faye? What the hell is this, gang? When you realize Funko Pops are consuming your entire life, they aren't consuming, they consumed. TikTok destroyed hobbies.
I don't understand why people that have hobbies get made fun of so much.
I like restaurants. Is that a hobby?
It's actually crazy that someone wouldn't have a hobby.
Do you know how embarrassing it is to try and explain that you don't have hobbies?
Are hobbies dying?
Huh. From that intro, it kind of sounds like it. Going to restaurants is a hobby? I mean, it low-key can be considered a hobby if that's like one of your passions. I love going to restaurants too, but I didn't really think that was a hobby. Maybe I'm wrong.
Overconsumption, side hustle culture, and a noticeable level of anxiety, I feel like we're losing the spirit of hobbies. And when I realized this, I began to wonder, how did we get here?
Social media, easy. See, the whole point of hobbies is to do things while you're bored to just, keep up your time so you're not bored doing God knows what, right? Well, social media is now what we do whenever we're bored. Nobody wants to fly a kite or sew a blanket when we can just scroll on TikTok, man. Like, it's just way more fun. I ain't gonna lie.
Back when I was just a young Jordan, my hobbies consisted of playing with WWE action figures, making videos, and building Lego sets. And that was a glorious time. But over the last
them Lego sets used to be my gang. I used to get the Lego Star Wars too. I used to get the Lego Star Wars, Lego Ninjago. I even got Legend of Chima, if you know ball about that. I got those Lego sets, bro. I used to be having all out wars and civilizations, man. I ain't gonna lie.
There's definitely been a
right here in this room right here, man.
rise in side hustle culture. I mean, there's so many videos about how to make money from faceless YouTube channels, how to make thousands from ghostwriting, and of course, how to make money from selling courses. It's the classic. It quite literally seems like you can't do anything without people trying to figure out a way to make money from doing it. The idea that everything has to be monetized, everything has to make you money, and that doing anything for fun is just a waste of time. And in certain cases, I may potentially agree with that last one, because I remember this one time I saw a guy just learning about plants using this AI app on his phone, and it seemed like a complete waste of time. That was me. I'm Guy. I'm on the hunt for
I thought that was going to lead into an advertisement. Am I the only one? I thought that was going directly into an ad. He saved that.
monetized, everything has to make you money, and that doing anything for this one time I saw a guy at the time. It wasn't easy. I'm Guy. I'm on the hunt for 100 different types of plants using this app. It wasn't easy.
That right there is poison ivy.
And I do think a certain level of hustle is good, but when your whole life becomes consumed by it, I think it can quickly steal your joy. Take this video.
I remember I was talking to one of my friends one time, and we was talking about this exact same topic. And it's crazy how in modern day society, we live in such a bad economy where you gotta find whatever way to hustle and get money because a regular job can't really, you feel me, suffice for like one person, A lot of people are starting to pimp out their butterfly. And what that means, if you listen to the Kendrick album, is pimping out your gift or overly using your gift, your passion, whether it's music, content creation, writing books, doing whatever, and basically pimping yourself out to make more money instead of just doing it because you love it. It's a very interesting concept, and I feel like nowadays when you turn hobbies into that's kind of what you're doing. That's why it's always important, especially business of creativity, whether you're a creator, you're a musician, you're a writer, you're a star, it doesn't matter what you are, to always have certain things that you just do off camera. Just keep certain things sacred. For me, I like playing Madden, CFB, not Madden, that game, CFB video games, and City Skylines, as a lot of y'all know, who be tapped into my streams and shit. I'll play all of those off stream. And even though people have asked me multiple times, y'all bring it on stream, those are some things I just want to keep off stream just so I can enjoy it. Would it be cool to make money off of it? Yes, but then it becomes a job. Then I won't be able to enjoy it as much. And then I'll probably become burnt out by it. So no, I'm never showing y'all my City Skyline city. Stop asking, all right? Y'all know who y'all are. Until it's finished, maybe I'll show y'all one day.
for example.
This is how I'm making money from my hobby. I accidentally started a side hustle by joining the Skill a Week challenge. Every week, they send you a creative skill and how to do it step by step. I made candles first, gave a few to friends, then I tried soap, then bath kits. Suddenly, people wanted to buy them. So I set up a little online shop, nothing fancy. Now I make a few $100 a month just from stuff I learned while chilling at home.
This is just one out of a billion different videos like this, but basically there's this whole wave of content teaching people how to make money from doing things that they originally did for fun. And I've noticed a few issues that can stem from this that destroy hobbies. The first issue being that it turns your hobby into a job, and then you no longer enjoy it.
I accidentally turned my hobby into a full-time job. Now I'm booked months out, have a waiting list, and can't remember the last time I had a real day off. #blessed.
Another issue with this I've seen is that once you start
hey man, that's a consumerism at its finest. Capitalism at its finest. That's, you know. Welcome to America, man. Welcome to America.
You start to feel more pressure, and then your hobby becomes less fun, or not fun at all. Which that could get into a whole conversation about intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation, but I don't want to get into that. Why, you may be asking? I don't feel like it. Anyways, when a hobby becomes a job, a lot of the time it removes the reason you actually started the hobby to begin with. Fun, peace, relaxation. But at some point during that, the people who didn't monetize their hobbies started becoming the minority, and it was almost as if you were looked down upon if you didn't try to make money from doing something that you love doing. Between 2010 and 2020, the number of people with side hustles in the United States doubled, but it didn't stop there. Once people started making money from their hobby, they started making content. The moment we started tying our hobbies to content and social media was the same moment that our motivations changed. Instead of doing something for fun, we started doing it for the likes, for the views, or even for validation. So instead of just being happy that we were participating in the hobby, we were only happy if we reached the metrics that we felt like we should be reaching. It started to become a performance, and as our motivation went down, our pressure went up. For example, we make a video and it does well, then our brain gets a hit of dopamine and we expect it again. But then if the next video doesn't perform well and then the numbers drop, so does our motivation. Let's take reading.
That's what makes content creation so interesting to me, bro. Because content has always, or making content has always been a hobby to me. But going from it being a hobby into making it your full-time job, yes, it's still fun, and I wouldn't rather have another job by far. But sometimes it does get stressful. It does get draining, and you do suffer from burnout, bro. I'm going to be honest. Yo, this shit fun as hell. I'm not going to lie. I would never have another job. But it does come with consequences, man. And this is no longer a hobby to me. It is a job.
For example, whenever I think about reading TikToks or book talk,
even though I like doing it, I enjoy my job. Just letting y'all know that. But yeah, I'm not trying to sound depressing, but yeah.
I like to think about people sharing their favorite books, cool reading spaces, or talking about things they've written. So that's what I generally think of when I think of book talk or reading TikToks. But then there's another side to it that I feel like has diluted the hobby of reading.
Who reads anymore? Ew. Harry Potter? Yeah. No, I'm playing. I used to love reading, bro. Especially Harry Potter, man. Oh, yo, I think I've said this before. I had back in elementary school, we had this thing called AR reading. And I was one of the best readers in my class. I used to be going band for band with the nerds in the class, man. I ain't gonna lie, I was really dedicated. And one thing that I tried to make my mission by the time I finished elementary school was to read the whole Harry Potter book collection. I think I got to the sixth book. I got to the sixth book, but I didn't finish it because I remember I read the whole fifth book, if I'm remembering properly, and I was so tired after that I didn't want to pick up another one because that fifth book's 700 pages. The sixth one's 500, and then the last one's 600. It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, man, reading used to be fun, especially those dork diary books or those Diary of Wimpy Kids, Big Nate, Geronimo Stilton. Yo, back in the day, I used to love reading, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
In cases like this, it seems like the hobby isn't reading books, but instead it's buying books. For example, in this clip, she says she buys books even though she has over 180 physical books that she hasn't read. My brain can't even fathom what 180 books looks like. It probably looks like a lot of books if I had to guess. Or even look at this video where this person is also buying more books than they're reading. In this case, on Book Talk, joy and pleasure and passion is supposed to come from reading. I mean, you're supposed to read books, you're supposed to read the words, take in the words, feel stuff from the words. The words are what make the joy. That's a good quote.
Yay!
Right, you can use that on on your next essay. But it feels like overconsumption is starting to take over this joy.
I have a lot of copies of Fourth Wing. I really like this book, and I'm gonna go through my whole collection. It's been a while since I did this, and everyone really liked it last.
Toes on cam is crazy, gang. I get you comfortable, but man, some niggas can really take some pictures of this shit, edit them up, oil them up with AI, and then, sell it on Feet Finder, man. I would protect your toes, man. Not gonna lie. Also, crazy library, man. Like, yo, I know you don't got a social life, man.
This is the very, very first printing of Fourth Wing that came out.
That shit low-key have a heart. She got the whole, ladder in the background, too. I know she do this shit. I know she love reading, man. Shouts out to her, bro.
Scribe arc, which I got from memes that will never be shared. Anyone, every single person on the internet knows that I size, and I just learned this morning, but it has the same exact bonus chapters that came in the holiday edition.
Once again, in my opinion,
what the fuck did I just see?
It has the same exact bonus.
Oh no, you got them Gooner books. I peeped that shit from a fucking mile away. Yo, look at this shit. What is that? Faye? I'm searching that shit up right now, gang. Faye books. Nah, this ain't the... Yeah, it's some... I seen some shit like this. What the hell is this, gang? Hell no, we caught your ass, bro. What type of gooner ass book is this, my nigga? Yo, he got 8 abs. That's not even humanly possible, gang. What are we talking about, bro? Nah, I don't know. Nah, man. What you be doing in that library at night, bro?
Chapters that came in the holiday edition.
Once again, in my opinion, we are looking at another collection that can't meaningfully or fully be used unless you read 8 hours a day for 4 years. Like I said, for many people, it seems like hobbies have become more about buying things than actually doing things. And one of the primary issues with that is unnecessary waste. According to Clever Real Estate, about 79% of Americans confess to purchasing items that they never use, which I don't know why a real estate business has a study on that, but...
That's so real. Condoms is for me. That's my item I never use. Should probably change that, man. I'm gonna have a kid soon.
That's besides the point. So with the online hobby industry being a $22 billion industry, I imagine the number of wasted products is quite high. Let's talk about collecting. So to me, admittedly, the line between acceptable collecting and overconsumption is a little bit blurry. A lot of people have their own definition of it, but simply put, the way I would differentiate between overconsumption and genuine collecting is intention and curation. Take this clip, for example.
When you realize Funko Pops are consuming your entire life, they aren't consuming, they consumed. No. What? Because what are we talking about? You got a whole wall of Funko Pops. I don't even see the appeal to these shits, man. Keep it in the beam. You don't even play with them. They just stay in the packaging, man. What? Gang, do you know how many cars? You know how many fucking months of rent you could have paid with all of those Funko Pops, man? Bro, you could have used this money you could have saved this money for your kids' tuition, man. But thinking about it though. If you got the money to buy all these Funko Pops, your kids are probably well off that. But still,
this creator's name, unsurprisingly, is Funko Daddy, and I'm pretty sure he has enough Funko Pops to take down a small country. And there's a few different sides of collecting that I want to talk about. The first one being using collecting as a way to justify overconsumption. And I'm not...
That's kind of what collecting is, overconsumption to the max. I mean, I don't know.
Like using
I don't think overcollecting is a bad hobby. I really don't. If you want to spend your money on that, you got it, gang, as long as you got the room.
Daddy of this, but it's something I have seen a lot of. People unnecessarily buy a lot of something and then say they're collecting as a way to justify it. But they don't have the intention of a collector, they have the intention of a buyer. And at the end of the day, no matter how you crack that cookie, it leads back to wastefulness. And obviously, companies will keep making things as long as people will buy them. It's like the law of making things. Mm-hmm. Keep making them if people buy them. But this is destroying
the law of bag chasing,
overconsumption. Simply put, overconsumption is just buying an excessive amount of something. Let me show you this video.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, white girlies be in fucking the fucking walls of Jericho with this. I ain't gonna lie. With them Stanley Cups, them the Boo-Boos, the Lulu, the Aloe, I don't even know how you could collect clothes. Well, nah, I do. But you feel me? They be in consumerism hell. They the main victims of this.
I'm gonna give a totally fair, totally honest, totally objective analysis on this. There may be more skin products here than skin on Earth. objectively. To a certain extent, I would consider skincare a hobby. I think a lot of people have fun with it and truly enjoy doing it as a form of
especially
relaxation.
makeup, I agree.
With that being said, I think this video is a prime example of why I say hobbies are being destroyed by overconsumption. Hobbies are becoming about buying, not doing. In this clip that I just showed you, assuming that skincare is a hobby, there's no way all of those products are being used in a meaningful way. And because of that, I think it's safe to make the claim that there's a lot more buying going on than doing. So
I don't understand how that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's been popular for years to collect Pokemon cards, to collect baseball cards. Yo, when you collect a pack, when you buy a pack of cards, most of the time you're not finna keep every single one of them cards, and you're not gonna use them at all. Especially in the case of baseball cards, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't really see an issue with this, honestly. I mean, if they want to buy that with their money, let them buy it.
The joy that is given to you by doing the hobby is now being replaced by buying. One of the main reasons that I think replacing hobbies with overconsumption is bad is because it's getting rid of the sustainable joy that comes from doing hobbies and replacing it with the unsustainable joy that comes from buying. And look, I get that there's an argument to be made here about this being a collection and that collecting is a hobby. I think that is a completely fair and valid argument. You would just have to define the difference between overconsumption and collecting, which to me, the difference would be in the curation and the purpose of what you're buying. Like, are you buying anything and everything, or are you purposefully curating what you're buying? So are you curating your collection, or are you just trying to make it bigger? But even still, I feel like this weird thing is happening.
Wait, go back. Collecting, curating. That's the same thing, though. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I feel like you're breaking this down to a level. I think you're trying to break this down and make this a little bit deeper than what it really is. Collection and overconsumption is the same thing. The whole meaning of collecting is getting something that you already have just to get a different version of it. Basically, overconsumption. Collection is just a nice word for overconsumerism. That's what you do. So I don't really think this is a bad thing. I mean, it's just a hobby. Like that. This is a hobby in itself.
Curating your collection, or are you just trying to make it bigger? But even still, I feel like this weird thing is happening where everything is starting to become a collection. And I'm not the police of what a valid collection is, but I feel like this thing is almost happening where people are using collecting as an excuse to overconsume. Take this video, for example.
Want to know what I find most annoying in game collecting? Physical games with digital codes.
First, and most importantly, can we get an F in the chat for this guy receiving a digital code on a physical copy of a game?
What's the point of getting a game copy if you're finna? Well, I guess it's for collector. I mean, I wouldn't buy that, but I mean, hey, man, I don't really see an issue wrong with that, man. I feel like we low-key kind of just hating a little bit, man. Like, let people collect what they want to collect.
That is so sad. So sad. I'm crying. But this is what I mean when I say that I think collecting is just getting used as an excuse to overconsume or buy things. Like, obviously this guy gets some sense of joy and dopamine when buying, otherwise he wouldn't do it. I guess then the question that comes from that would be, what makes a valid collection? Like I said, my line would be, are you curating the collection? But then I see videos like this and I begin to wonder if that's even like a good line. Maybe generally speaking it is, but I don't know if in every case it is. Like, I do believe this guy is curating. He's probably not buying duplicate games, but it still seems a little bit excessive to me. Maybe it's just something as simple as the way I value these items is completely different than how he values them. I mean, that could totally be the case. But speaking about collecting, there is another issue, and that's scalpers.
Okay, first off, pause. I want to say one more thing about that. Actually, no, matter of fact, I already said what I had to say. We'll keep it going. So scalpers are the people who be trying to box over, you feel me, collect items. This is that stupid shit. This be that dumb shit. If you waited in line for a couple hours to get an item and that shit sold out, that's your dumb ass fault, bro. Don't go try and box the person, the lucky individual that actually got the product, man. I ain't gonna lie, that shit's stupid. That's ratchet and stupid, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Understood this. Watch this. Skipping all these shoes, get a bunch of these shoes.
So for people who genuinely collect, or I guess even overconsume, scalpers are a serious problem. And I might be a little dramatic here, but I think scalpers have ruined a lot of hobbies. They'll buy out things like shoes, cars.
Oh, this is people who buy shit out. You talking about resellers. I've never heard nobody call them scalpers, but okay, resellers. That's what you're talking about.
Or even concert tickets, then resell them at insanely high prices. And a lot of the time, they're probably not even genuinely interested in these hobbies. They're just interested in making money.
Now, this is a problem.
Which is pretty lame. So then people who are genuinely interested in the hobby, they get the short end of the stick. They get the little nub at the end that you can't grab. It slips out of your hand. It's just an awful situation.
They get the Roku remote, man, and everybody wants the Samsung. But they get the Roku remote.
And I think we're at the point where hobbyists are just, they're sick and tired of it because there's so many videos of hobbyists fighting back against scalpers. Blue Hat Guy was standing on business. He's not messing around. He walked up, snagged the thing, and then walked out. He is a hobby hero if I've ever seen one. And that leads me to another point, which you could say is another external reason as to why people don't do hobbies. Cringe. This one is another pretty simple one, but the idea is that people don't do hobbies because they don't want to be bad at them and then have people cringe at them. Or maybe people will call something that you enjoy cringe and you don't do it because of that. Then TikTok, and actually social media as a whole, amplify these messages, and so the people calling things cringe gets way louder. But really,
I'm gonna say this. If somebody just has a regular hobby, like reading books, collecting action figures or stuff like that, and you just call it cringe and you call them a loser, you're weird, gang. I ain't gonna lie, you're weird, man. Let these people be these people, bro. Unless they have a weird hobby like collecting fucking lolly magazines or fucking like even, I mean, that's when we can start judging this shit. But even still, let these niggas rock, bro. Like, you feel me? Let these people rock, bro.
Really, let's be honest. Cringe is just a literally
collecting is crazy. Nah, people used to collect magazines, them Playboys. Okay, Playboys is whatever. But like, you feel me? Like, if you're like collecting like actual videos and putting it into like a saved file, you're crazy, gang. I don't even know if that's collecting at that point. That's just being a gooner.
Purely a social construct. It is literally a complete social construct. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
You're so cringe. God forbid I have hobbies. What the fuck? I've never seen this player build before. I'm a
okay, do your thing, I guess. I'm a little conflicted here, but I might say that is cringe. Maybe. But it gets worse. We've created a comparison culture. At least with metrics, that's more of an internal thing. That's more about us. But with comparison, we start tying our value to other people. It used to be where you could do one thing and be happy, but now you'll see a video of someone doing the same thing, but 1,000 times more extreme, and then you'll feel bad about yourself. And the thing with social media too is you hardly ever see the journey. You just see the result. So it becomes super easy to compare your 10 minutes of knowing a skill to someone's 10 years of knowing a skill. Social media just gets rid of any sense of time. And I mean, naturally, we're wired to compare ourselves to the best person in the room, but now the room is the entire planet. I don't know about you, but I feel like that's a lot of people to compare yourself to. And really on top of that, we just have a hard time being bad at things. We're uncomfortable with not being the best. Being bad at something used to be private. Like, you could be bad at painting and it was okay because not a bunch of people were gonna see it. Unless for whatever reason the whole neighborhood busted into your house to judge you. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's happened to somebody. But now the whole world can see what we're bad at. And many of us hate looking bad in front of crowds.
This is why I don't have hobbies, LMAO. Boo-hoo, nigga. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, boo-hoo. You're not as good as the person who's making the video. Game is game. Try again. I don't know.
So I alluded to this a bit earlier, specifically the idea that hobbies are being distorted by TikTok's algorithm. And this is something I've talked about a whole lot in a bunch of videos, so I won't spend too much time on it. But simply put, this is the idea that TikTok's algorithm, or really any social media algorithm, primarily pushes excessive content because that's what gets engagement and likes and views. And you've probably watched it too. I've watched it. We've all seen it. Okay, we're all part of this little club. For example, I'm gonna show you 2 different videos and you tell me which one you think has more likes. Here's the first video.
Okay, that's nice painting.
Here's
I like
the
that.
second video.
Overconsumption core. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. She do got a lot of fucking lotion, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, she got this shit lined up like she's like this shit a fucking aisle at a grocery store, man. This shit look like a Walmart aisle, bro. What?
Now, how many likes do you think each video has? Well, the first one has 2,194 likes, and the second one has 114,000 likes. But
I think a lot of people were probably like clowning her for that, though. I don't think it's whatever. I don't know.
Point is, and I really don't think this is controversial at all, except, you know, this is YouTube, this is the internet, and I'm probably about to make somebody mad. But I think most of us can agree that the crazier content, the more engagement it's gonna get.
Duh.
You know, positive or negative.
Yeah.
So indirectly, or in some cases pretty directly, I think TikTok has changed our perception of what normal is. Maybe it changes our idea of what a hobby is, what that hobby's community stands for, or even how we can become a part of that hobby. And all of these things are contributing to the massive $22 billion industry with arguably around 79% waste. Another reason hobbies are being destroyed is because of anxiety. What I mean by anxiety in this case is the fear of being bad. People are so scared to try anything new, to be curious, or even just to be bad at something because we're so afraid of our imperfections being highlighted.
Okay, real quick, I got a solution for this. Take this phone right here. That's it. Yo, if you're scared that people are gonna judge you for your hobbies, don't show them your hobbies. Like I used to, like I said before, I use my city skyline city as an example. The main reason why I don't want to show y'all that shit is not that I don't want to show y'all. It's that purely if I show y'all that shit and y'all say that shit trash, I'ma crash the fuck out. And it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna ruin it for me, man. The whole point of hobbies is expressing your inner desire to create something, man. And really enjoying yourself instead of just being bored and jerking off or doing some dumb shit. Right? So, naturally, when you have a creative outlet and you're creating art and not something that's supposed to be perfect, it's not going to be perfect, gang. It's going to have imperfections. It's going to have things that's wrong with it. That's the beauty of being a human being, working through those things, having imperfections, not being a fucking AI robot. That's cool. But that's also why you shouldn't show it to people, because as soon as you show it to people, it doesn't become your hobby. It now becomes a performance. And people judge performances, but you shouldn't be judging hobbies because it's for you, not for anybody else. That's why you got to keep certain shit sacred. That's what I'll say. So as long as you throw away that phone, you won't have to worry about this, gang.
And this seems to be something that social media emphasizes even more, because really it seems only the most perfect and best things get put at the top, and therefore anything that is below that baseline of perfection isn't good enough.
Just a quick reminder for anyone who needs to hear this, you don't need to be good at your hobbies. For example, my hobby is painting. I am pretty bad at painting.
It seems like any kind of hobby we do.
But I bet she had fun doing it though. That's all that matters.
Become some kind of performance or algorithm bait. And with the way that social media works, that can start to feel a little humiliating. And according to some studies, this kind of perfectionism and pressure can quickly lead to hobby burnout. And then you mix that in with the natural social comparison that goes on TikTok and social media, and you get a pretty bad recipe. It's a really weird recipe with really weird ingredients, like salt, ketchup, spaghetti, oatmeal. It's weird. You don't want to try it. It's really weird. Actually,
you know something I seen the other day, bro? I seen a video of a girl eating ranch with pizza. And I know that's a common thing that people do, but just let me know in the comment section down below. Do you eat ranch with your pizza? I've tried it before. I don't like it. I don't fucking like. Yo, I seen another video of somebody eating mayo with their pizza, and it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what? Ranch is one thing, but mayo? Do you just want to throw up? Like, what?
One of the top comments in the video I just showed you pretty much said the same thing. Maybe you don't need to be good at hobbies, but I do. I have to be perfect at everything on the first try, or I'm giving up and crying.
And that's why you cry and you're not satisfied with the hobbies. Like, who? Man, my mom's a perfectionist, so I've seen shit like this happen. Whatever she does, she has to try to be perfect at it, man. And while she does produce good quality stuff and art and stuff like that, one thing that she robs herself of is having fun with the things she creates. I'm gonna get a little bit deep. One thing I could tell she's always wanted to do is like write books, but she hasn't because she's a perfectionist, man. Like, she's really good at what she does, whatever she does it, but she really does want to be perfect at it, and she knows that if it isn't perfect, it's gonna eat up her alive because she's really passionate about books. So Word of advice, don't be, if you're passionate about something, have fun, man. Don't make it into, like, you feel me, a business. Don't make it into a crazy art. Have fun with it. All right? And some passions you do turn into a job, and that's cool. But at the same time, always have some stuff that is sacred to you. And don't try to be a perfectionist. Just have fun with it. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about having fun.
Thanks, you're welcome. But also, this sentiment is something that's shared by a lot of people, including myself at times. When you fall into these traps, it's not a sign that you're lazy or that something's wrong with you. It's survival. Our brains are made to avoid failure and conserve energy. It is a literal function of our brain. But social media has hijacked it. If hobbies disappear from our lives, what do we lose? Well, a lot more than you think. Hobbies used to be a kind of safe place, a place to be bad at things, a place where outcomes didn't matter, a place where we had the joy of trying without stakes. So without hobbies, we lose that joy. Hobbies also give us what scientists call a flow state. This is a mental state where time disappears, and it's linked to lower stress, better focus, and
this is how I be feeling on City Skylines. That's why I be playing that shit for like 8 hours. I don't care. That's why I be playing that shit for 8 hours, bro.
Without hobbies,
I be in flow state, bro.
Reset for our brains.
Unfortunately, I can't take hobbies lightly because I must be perfect at everything I do.
Hobbies used to connect us. We used to build friendships on our interests and not follower counts. It didn't matter how many people wanted to watch you do something. All that mattered is that you were doing it with someone. Without hobbies, our social circles shrink while also getting louder. If hobbies go away, our identity only becomes about what we do for money. We forget about the part of ourselves that exists without an audience. When was the last time somebody asked you who you are or what you do, and you didn't only talk about your job?
I'll tell you what I've taken on as a hobby. 2 or 3 loads of laundry a day, dishes all day because these kids are all slobs.
I used to spend hours making videos, day in and day out. Not because I was good at it or because it was making me money, but because it really made me feel like me. When I started making everything about what other people thought, when I started only making videos for money, when I got caught in the social media trap, I started to realize what I was losing. But I think there's hope. While I was researching for this video, I saw so many people who were actively pushing back against these issues I was talking about. It was almost as if people started to realize how harmful some of these things could be. That's when I realized maybe the apocalypse that I'm seeing isn't the death of hobbies, but instead is the death of joyless consumerism. All the endless buying, pointless consumerism, the distortion of hobbies, we're seeing less of that and more of the true joy that hobbies can bring. I think that maybe the most important...
perfect vibe.
We're seeing less of that and more of the...
is a field like this, 2 canvases, a picnic fucking like lunch or whatever with sandwiches and wine and whatever, and just you and a girl you fuck with, just painting and talking on a beautiful day like this. I don't know if that's just the country nigga in me, man, but I'm craving that, bro. I'm gonna have to make that a reality in the spring or summer.
True joy that hobbies can bring. I think that maybe the most important form of a hobby is the simplest one. The ones that don't require a mountain of supplies, the ones that don't make money, the ones that aren't meant to impress strangers. So maybe we should pick one hobby, don't film it, don't post it, don't try to monetize it, just be bad and have fun. I'm really good at the being bad part. I've got that down to a T. I'm goated at that. That was, well, I don't know, why did I say that? But with that being said, there definitely is a lot of consumerism going on, and I think there's even a pipeline from overconsumption to hoarding, which I talk more about in this video right here, so be sure to check that out if you want to.
Okay, good video. I like this video. That shit got real as fuck in the end, and I do like it, man. That got deep. What do y'all think about this topic? What do y'all think about this point? Name some of y'all hobbies down below. Let me know your hobbies. I already told y'all mine. I love City Skylines, bro. To the day I die. But let me know down in the comment section down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. Sky, stay fly. Thank you, and goodbye. We out.